No.
All right, sir. So good morning, sir. You filled my survey on behalf of Femgodfrey Ventures.
Yeah.
I have a small scale poultry, has about 75 birds at a time, and you farm broilers and others. So my first question is,
Yes.
can you give me a background as to why poultry? Why did you decide to go into poultry? What was the objective and how has it been?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Alaron. On before now, I've been, I have a good intention towards poultry and farming, at least from since 1988-86, when I was in first that I do run a farm, whereby I said, yes, I'm highly interested in farming before I got myself into an office job. And to God be the glory, I was able to work with SEMA, which further gave me some little idea concerning farming and all that has to do with agriculture. But after when I left NASEMA, I sat down to look at myself. What can I do at least that I believe that I have passion for majorly? Look at it that, well, I love providing food, at least for the masses, and also to further add to the value of this country, at least creating a job employment and other areas to cover for some other loopholes, which now when I have, because before now I have a 2 plot of land where I just use some little portion of it. And I said, okay, fine. When I get my entitlements, the first money given to me, I quickly have to set up a little, will I say a small outlet that I will be keeping the birds. And I have to go to where there was a place along this Obasanjo farm, just within that environment. I have to visit that environment where I found some people doing poultry and taking care of rearing goats and other animals there. I have to meet with them and ask them some questions. I told them I want to go into so this, I want to go into poultry and all this. They told me that if I want to go into layers, it has so many other things that I still need to, I must have time. That one is highly demanding. So before they now say, well, boiler, cockerel and boiler and others might still be okay for me to start with. And they told me that I can start with some little portion of it, which, and I said, okay, fine. They say, what is the size of what I build in form of that is the way I'm going to be keeping them, the house.
Okay.
I told them the size. And then I said, well, since I'm starting afresh, I have to start with a little quantity of it. They told me that, the food, the bag of food as at then used to be 3,200, at least starter food or something like that. And they told me that I should be on the lookout concerning each time each time if I want to know that something is happening to them, the moment they poo on the floor, I will check the type of this thing they have on the floor. If it is green, if it is this, that I should monitor it. But along the line, me that I'm very new on it, I find it highly stressful. But I call my wife to order and my children that let's see how it goes. Let's do something good because we'll benefit from it. Then at the same time, we might grow from there and start having staff and the rest of it. So we know the first 1 month when we started, about 2, 3 just died. I have to call the person that really introduced me to how to start. Then I say, that I didn't watch very well, or I didn't give them the prescribed drug that they told me to do, or I didn't apply it well. And I told them that, well, to be sincere, I was not the one applying it. I'm applying the drug. I asked my wife and children, I told them what to do. So what they only tell me is that they are doing it, but I don't know how true is that. So the woman in question said that if I monitor them very well, I take good care of them, that I won't have anything to regret concerning it. So along the line, when we got to rainy season then, so some section were leaking, which I quickly have to provide a solution to. Then it now got to a time, there was a heavy rain, flood, disturbed, kai. I said, God have mercy. So the whole of out of 75, about 30, they got cold. I didn't know what to do. Well, when the rain stopped, I quickly looked for immediate solution. But I won't deceive you, I have to buy additional 20.
Yeah, to meet up.
To meet up with the quantity. At least I was looking at December, that at least within 5 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I should have a good ones that I can still give out for December and all this stuff. The woman told me that if I just put every effort, but as I started counting how much food they've consumed in bags, and looking at the stress, taking care of the environment is not easy because I'm still new. Then, children and wife, it's not her line. She's a fashion designer. Only because I believe I can not stay on that aspect
alone.
Of business alone. So each time I'm around, I will tell them how far I will check and all this stuff. I will go after some other businesses so that I will not only rely on that. But, along the line, things were just, you see, 2 died. Okay, what happened? They say they don't know. Okay, fine. I have to treat the environment because of all these reptiles,
Oh, like rats and
yeah, that can come from any angle. So I further adjust the nets, all the loopholes and all this stuff. But even as at that, we got to a time we started seeing some little ants. So we have to change the whole of the environment. We have to clean it up, put some sawdust and all this on the ground. Some of the night I should buy all this lantern in the night, put light for them so that they will be warm or all this stuff. But in short, I faced so many things. At the long run, when I see that I now divide the house into about 4, I make it 4 sections. And I bought this turkey also. Okay. I bought about 6 turkeys, and I bought goats. The female one, I bought 3. I bought 2 male. So started adding those ones to it. So the something now become interesting somehow. At the end of the day, the chicken by December, out of 75, which I added about 20, 40 to it, I could boast of just 12. Can you understand me?
Yeah.
Just 12 of them.
Out of the 75.
Fine. Plus 40.
Wow.
Along the line. So, but then I now calculated how much I've spent so far on their feeding. These bags of this, they said. The
bag that you said was initially 3,002.
Yes. Started bearing 3/8. All this stuff. And I asked them which other alternative can at least as food, because I cannot just continue with that. We are not seeing any good report on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
now return on your investment.
Yes, I started going into turkey. I bought that turkey quite all right. 6. I was enjoying the turkey. The turkey started growing. So and I believe that after, it was October then. I'm looking at December. they were big to an extent that I know, yes, in the next 3 months, they will be good, at least, to market. If I tell you by November, I was not around. I don't know what really happened. My wife just told me that he didn't know. She left them from their cage into the premises to play. Before you know it, they are outside the whole of the premises. When I came back, nobody told me anything. As I came back, I met them inside their house. As I looked, I saw all of them, they were down. Hey! 6 at the same time. I was mad. I said, come, what's happening? He said, what she can only remember was that they were playing inside the premises. And before you know it, one of the tenants opened the gate to drive out. They went out, they didn't know, they only saw them out, they brought them inside. That was all. The 6 just, that day, we have to bury the 6. We buried the 6. I was annoyed. Well, I left that. The goats were doing well. They were doing well. So suddenly, the male, I was now, each time I'm not around, there was always a problem. So the male they told me the male was behaving somehow, that they have to kill the male. So when during December, we have to kill 1. So now, as I'm talking now, I have about 3 goats now, a male and 2 female. Then I have the local chicken, and I have just 1 broiler left now. But now I'm into so many things. I'm into agricultural practice, pure water production, business center, supplies, and others. Then sporting this and general contractor, as I am now. And I'm managing a site for a vocational project now. So which I now said, okay, fine. What I have in mind is, if the pure water, which they disappointed me, let's say I've collected the number now, since the poultry is within the premises where I have the pure water, being it's a big land.
Okay.
I separated them.
Well separated.
I'll be able to be around to manage all together. Because for now, if I leave house on Monday, I'll be back on Sunday. I cannot just be going and coming, because I have to manage the project very well. So that's where I am now. But the challenges I'm facing are those ones I've just told you. Let's say I'm able to sit down, understand the whole secret behind it, have a little maybe assistance, but what I have in mind is that if I have any cleaner that will be in charge of the pure water also, I will surely let the person understand. I want to add the person to the poultry section. It will be, yes. So I will know how to manage the two together. That's where I am now. And that of the pure water, where I am on that one. So I still have to stick to the project, and I'm managing now, so that I will not be empty.
Mr. Diago, I mean, everything you have described is the reason why I am pushing for this idea. So I'll give you my own background as to why this idea is leading to me interviewing you. Then we'll now go straight to your responses. Although even in this, your general discussion, you've even answered most of the reasons why you gave the answers you gave in my survey. So my own idea starts from my wife's business. She does agro processing. Ogi, ginger paste, garlic paste. From time to time, if you see my WhatsApp status, you see her advertise some of those things there.
Yes.
However, we also have an uncle who worked in Guinness for 15 years. He was a mechanical engineer. And then when
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Can I ship in just something for 2 minutes, please?
Please go ahead.
Fine. Along the line, when I was doing the poultry, because we have one agro product in form of an outlet within my environment along Winners. where they sell all this agro treatment and all this stuff. So I have to go into ugu farming within my environment.
Vegetable farming.
So I bought this fertilizer. They told me when the something comes out a little, just apply to just not to touch the product. Just they done that so that it will grow well and all this stuff. After the whole of the problem, the whole of the stress, I called the Malan. They do the reefs and all this in house. After planting, if I tell you, my the problem I had was my wife could not manage it. The goats had to eat up everything there. Before I came back, I was highly disappointed. I said, why do you have to lose them? They said, such local goats, we cannot be caging them. That we need to create a section for them where they will be playing. That we cannot just cage them. Okay, fine. I now have to move out to go and price all this demarcating wire. When I got to Yanapaja, it was highly expensive. That was I still have all those fertilizers, all the treatment, this thing. I have them in my house now. But now I need to buy those wires to demarcate a space for the goats where they will be playing and to continue, because I was told that the ugu business, in short, was highly lucrative. And we have a weekly market within our Ota market, where even within winners, you see with balls, with all these e-locks, they will bring it there and be selling directly. And people will patronize it. So that was in short. This happened this year around maybe March, when I was looking at the rainy season for this year. I spent a lot in that regard again. I have to come around, they do all this year. I started planning. I went to Arena to buy bulk of this seed, ugu seed, and all this stuff. In short, it was messed up. I just have to just let it stand and stay. I have another language along Itori where I want to use for farming majorly. And I have some friends that they say they deal in farming and all these things, piggery, they start to come around. I say, well, it's time now because I need to make some money to get back to business.
To get back after all these losses.
So I don't need all this experience, guidelines and all this before I have to go back.
let me because this is the reason why I'm even giving this background. And by the time we go straight all the way to the end of the interview, then we will see how we can work together going forward. So like I was saying, this uncle retired from Guinness and then went into agriculture as well. He too experienced most of the losses you are talking about, because there's a trial and error period that most small-scale farmers are having to go through. But eventually, because of his background, he was able to start documenting what he does. So everything you're talking about in poultry, he experienced it, and then he was able to bounce back and use Excel to record everything. I told you that my wife was already doing her business. So my wife started getting supply of broilers from him. When you're an accountant, so you know most of these terms. When the market price was 6,000 naira, his cost per unit, per bird, was like 3,200 naira. Right? I'm telling you, I can, if you have the time, okay, as you're talking, I will share with you some of the Excel sheets that he kept as records, right? So, and we did this over a period of like 2 years, where he would just target Easter, maybe Ileya, Christmas, Ileya, Christmas, like that. And you are talking about a sales margin of maybe almost 100%. Right, from his cost of production, and he will not be able to meet the demand. So we now came up with this idea that poultry farmers, when they start, they try trial by error, and not many people can survive up to the extent of, like you said, now not everybody can now go back and look for money elsewhere to start again. So can we provide some kind of solution where poultry farmers will just gain this knowledge and gain this understanding, and will not really need to use trial by error, and their chances of success is much higher. That's the idea we are pitching to the accelerator. But the accelerator is like Well, we hear your idea, but can you interview some poultry farmers to be sure that what you think is a problem is really a problem, and what you think is a solution, they also believe is a solution? So that's why I'm interviewing you, and I'm interviewing some other people. So, like I said, in your opening discussion, you've already even covered the reason behind some of those answers you answered. For example, when we asked you that how high is financial management an issue, you ranked it 4, which obviously means that you believe that the issue of access to finance is a very major issue, right?
Yes,
right. When it comes to record keeping, you ranked it 2, meaning it's very low. Is this because you are an accountant yourself and record keeping is not a problem?
Yes, actually, as an accountant, I follow up all the expenses and all this every year. I follow it up. I can, let's say, at least 85% of it I can still remember of what I spent. You understand me? But when I now say that it seems there is no way in this, I normally write it up. That I need to bounce back and now do the normal thing. So after moving out to gain some little experience and ask people how they are doing it and they are surviving and all this stuff, before I now come and sit down and keep it. Normally, I have so many systems now because I'm into business center, internet now. So I want to really sit down. If not for the disappointment of this pure water, because I've already programmed everything. Yes, that I would sit down and face everything squarely, at least with my experience. So if not for that, I just have to face this project I'm handling now.
I get you, because I also see that you ranked the issue of labor, and I can understand that for now you have to work with your wife and your children, and they are not like you said, they are not following the instructions as you've been giving.
Yes, I have to lead them. I don't want to disturb
because it's family.
Their way of life. They have their own way of life. Now I want to be on my own. I want them to be themselves. Whatever they feel like doing, let them do it. Let me face this, my own aspect of life. Let me face it. Let them
this is what you are passionate about. I understand.
You also talked about. I don't want to force anybody. I don't want to force them.
I feel you. I'm now understanding the reason why you answered the way you answered in some questions. For example, I see research and development, application of technology, you rank them high because you were relying on those people around your Obasanjo farm area for this information, and they will give you some information, but it's until later you will now discover some other things like the issue of pests.
It's not working.
Like the issue of pests, the need for chicken wire and all that. For market access, you said market is not a problem. Can I ask why? Why do you think market access is not a problem?
Yes, in my environment, we have a lot of people requesting for all this. Even there was a time I went to Ota Market. There was a time I went to Ojore Market. There was a market in Ojore too, whereby I saw them. They are displaying all the people gathered. But when I approach them, what they are trying to look at is, okay, how old is the chicken? How big? How all those aspects. Because when I compare the type they are selling there, looking at my own, I'm saying, well, if I look at what they are presenting, wait, and now double up on my own, I'll be able to break even concerning it. But there are market for such. Even there was a time I even went to at least to do market this survey or research on this Ugu. I got to Ojore Market. Those Igbo people that say if I can be supplying there or they can come to my farm if I have it, that during rainy season it used to be cheap. Then during when October, let's say September, October, November, December, it used to be expensive and it used to be scarce. Now it is the scarce period I need to work on, whereby I'll be able to have money to supply. You understand? Because they told me it's highly expensive during that period, and they normally find it difficult to get ugu and all this stuff in the market. Those reselling, you understand me?
I do.
And and the market is every 4 days or so. They run the market, that is Water Market, whereby you see many people from different areas and all this stuff coming in to market. So that's why the way I look at it, market is not the problem. Even some of my friends that they went for this snail program also, they said if I can also go into that they have a lot of people that they need snail that nobody can meet up with the demand. But I say no, let me finish with what I'm on now.
Before you can
chicken,
expand.
let me sort before I can now say I want to expand to such. So that's just the way it is. But I believe market is not a problem within my environment.
Yeah. Then finally, I see that, okay, for feed, for example, your inputs and all that, the availability is not that much of an issue. It's the price that is the issue, according to what you answered.
Yes, because I have Obasanjo farm within me. Normally, Obasanjo farm is not that functioning now. But within the environment, people are selling all these feed and all this stuff in different sizes and different, even though if you want this small container to buy in bits and all this stuff, they have it. But the price and all the drugs also are highly expensive too. So that's the major problem now. And since I'm still learning, I don't want to keep on increasing the cost of running it, whereby the inflow. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you. I'm just also sharing.
Inflow will not, I will not see anything for now. So I want to look at, okay, how much am I spending on that? What other businesses can I put it into first before
to make sure that cash
back.
Flow is not a problem?
Yes. So that I will not start, because there was a time I have to apply to this Bank of Industry. But when they asked me to start producing the feasibility, the report and all this stuff, or they go and get this, when I even look at cost of getting all those things together, it's close to 500,000 because of 3 million. You understand me?
I get what you mean. It's what we do here.
So all those things, but I still have to keep low. Let me focus on one first, be able to gather more funds. Let me now, because that's why I'm operating within my environment, so that I'll be able to monitor it squarely before I now blow out. Actually, I want to blow out, but because of all these bandits, I don't want to be in a big farm whereby somebody will come and kidnap me and say I should be paying some millions. So that's how I just have to be myself and start seeing how it works well within my environment for before I now move out.
So let me use the opportunity to share my screen now and show you, like I said, the Excel, an example of the Excel that my uncle was capturing. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So you see, this is him capturing his costs, his expenses, his feed. Go to the right, you see pre-starter, starter, grower, finisher, how much he was spending. If you come down, you see his unit cost calculation. And for this cycle, this Excel sheet I'm sharing, he did in 2020. And his cost per unit of every bird was 3,200 naira.
Okay, when you got them, it depends on the year.
No. As when he matured, so what he's doing is this. Think of it as an accountant. When you buy the day-old chicks, you're buying feed, you're buying medication, you're paying labor, all those things. So if you divide it by the number of birds, you
put them together before you not divide and get
exactly. So you now know the cost per unit of the bird. So at maturity, the cost per unit and his farm size was around 200 birds. At maturity, the cost per unit of every bird was 3,262 naira. But because he sold it at different prices to people, so you see the stock quantity, 199. So one bird died, right? And the average selling price he was able to sell it was 5,400. And this is because he was selling to people like us who were reselling.
Okay, in bulk.
Exactly, who were reselling. So it was based on this, right, that we now have this idea that I want to now share with you. And you would now explain whether you think it is something that can work for you or not. What he is doing in Excel, we are thinking, can we do it in form of a mobile app, right?
Okay.
A mobile app that will help you be saying, it is time to give them this feed, it is time to give them this medication, it is time to, basically help you monitor. And maybe you are in Lagos and you have a farm manager in
even the timing. So we are able to monitor the timing and understand when to give them this and that.
And then it will now give you a dashboard to let you know that as at today, maybe your chicken is to mature at 10 weeks. As at 5 weeks, is letting you know that your current cost per head is 1,005. Because as you are keeping the records, it is tracking everything. So my question to you is that, do you think this kind of solution will help when you bounce back and you want to come back into poultry?
It will even make it more easier for me. Because by the time you break everything down, you understand me? Time to give them this, the medication, time to give them this, time to give them this, time to because if I tell you the way I do it before, I don't like the chicken. Well, each time I go to their house, I don't want to find their plates empty without having food.
But
they say there's time to give them food.
Exactly. That is not it. You are wasting.
Me, I don't like seeing them, seeing the plate empty. I just have to take my friend, go and put food there for them so that they can go on time.
It's not like that. It's not like that.
I was like, I'll be wasting money. They told me, no, there's time.
You'll be wasting money. So this is my second question.
I finish one bag within a week.
Yeah, it's not like that. So this is my second question. If we develop this app as a mobile app, maybe something like WhatsApp that you can use on your phone, and all your other farm hands and laborers can use, and we tell you that you have to pay 2,000 naira a month to use the app, is this something you would be willing to pay?
Actually, now, you understand, the answer I will give you now, I will tell you I'll be able to pay. But the moment, by the time you now go into the business mainly, you now apply it. You tend to know the actual fact of it.
Exactly.
But for now, I will say, it's very easy, very small. I can pay
the cost
for 6 months at once now. But by the time you put it into application now,
you can still now revalidate. You still revalidate.
You understand me?
So thank you so much, Mr. Adiago. These are the points that I just wanted to raise. What I can promise you is that as we go along with even implementing the solution, I'll keep you informed. When we launch the app for a start, I'll also keep you informed. And then I look forward to when you start again so that I can really, all the knowledge, I'm more of a researcher, but there is a lot of knowledge that could have helped you, when you first started. So that's what this app is supposed to do. To say, don't do trial by error. The thing will recommend and let you know that you feed them at this time, you weigh them, give them this medication. This is the appropriate pen to use so that you don't have issue of pests and rats.
And what about the aspect of protection,
Exactly, biosecurity and all that.
Wire security, the type of lights.
How many chickens you should have in your floor space, all those. Because this information, some people already have it. So why should we wait for other people to be doing trial by error?
At the same time, they have different ages. They will tell you this one, you don't keep 3 months together with 6 months.
You separate.
And there are some they will say you have to cut up their mouth also. You have to trim it.
Especially for roosters.
So they keep on telling me all those. I say, who is going to hold them to start cutting up? You understand?
There are equipment. There are equipment for all those things. There are equipment for all those things. So thank you so much, Mr. Adiago. I'll send you a WhatsApp message for one other request. But I mean, you gave me 30 minutes. I've used 3 minutes beyond my 30 minutes. Thank you so much.
You see that? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Alara. God bless you.
Yeah, and you too, sir.